wait. I'm gonna just see if a couple people check in here, but I'm all wide dropping, obviously. We're putting down nitrogen here. This field's got a couple wet holes in the middle, but I blasted through them here with the front wheel assist. Pretty nice. Farmer Cole, how's it going? Luke, what's up? But a couple of them I may have to go around. There's a couple springs that are over there. Hey Ethan, there's a couple springs that come out of this field. You can see there's kind of a pond in the middle. We call it the game farm, so it's kind of almost like a wildlife refuge area. So I just have to be pretty careful. It's a little soft wherever we're headed, along those trees, so I might have to turn short and not make a mess of the headlands too bad. But I figured I'd do a live stream. This is probably, with any luck, going to be the last day of Y dropping. This is going to be my last trip out. I need to go to work tonight. Got rained out in the morning. I tell you what, you can see how dark it is. To the west of us by about 2 hours got absolutely crushed last night, and they were already having flooding. And then they got rain again this morning, and it's all gonna stay over there. Hopefully our chance of rain is low, but it's tomorrow, so with any luck he'll finish tonight. We were at about there's a 100-acre farm just a ways from here. It just set into this 60-acre farm right here, so with any luck we'll have this done by about 5 o'clock or so, and then we'll see what he can do to that 100-acre farm out there. We're gonna go park the tender truck out there with some nitrogen, so he doesn't have to drive all the way back, because it's quite a distance from the farm where that one is. But if you have questions about the Y drop concept or whatever, ask me. If a lot of people are super curious, maybe I'll stop for a quick minute and we'll go back and look at them. See, like you can see, it gets really wet right here. So we're just gonna turn short. 1, 2, 3. I'll do my best to keep up with comments. On my priority is to stay in the rows, obviously. Let's see what we got here. My prediction how the hay fields are going, I think we may have a mini drought at the end of summer. Yeah, probably. They were initially predicting a drought, I thought, for our area all summer, but it's been anything but a drought. Oh, there's some nasty ruts there from when he was spraying the corn. This field's really unpredictable, so if I drop you guys or set you on my lap for a second so I can cruise through a spot, I'll be back. Hey Steven. Yeah. 7, it's this is still doing that 32% nitrogen. I do have 2 GoPro videos that I took. This is with my phone, obviously. The GoPro is better. Multiple people have told me that my audio is a lot better. I don't notice it as much just listening to them on my computer, but my computer's not, it's just basic speakers. I don't have headphones or nothing that I edit with, so I have noticed though that after people brought it to my attention that it does do a little better on the GoPro, so I'm doing my best. I bring that on the full days. Today I'm only out here for an afternoon a little bit because I worked tonight and I worked last night, so I forgot it, or I don't bother bringing it. All of our creeks are out of its banks and getting, with the rain you've been getting. That's this ground is not drying out. I mean, we got a ½ inch a couple days ago, but it honestly, the ground is holding the water. We've just gotten so much rain ourselves, but we've been really fortunate this last week. We've got a lot of beans. We got the beans sprayed, and we're gonna get the corn all side dressed here. How high is the corn? This is towards the middle. You can see it's rubbing the front axle. Some of the stuff you'll see in the videos is very tall, like up to the hood of the tractor tall. Like 6 foot me walking around. Surprisingly, it went through and stood back up, otherwise I wouldn't have stayed out in the field. Some people are going to tear me apart when they see the video. Most of the corn that I dropped was no higher than these black fenders, and there was no damage at all. The corn that's up to the hood, I even walked behind. People might think, oh geez, he's just wrecking corn, blah blah blah. No, I wouldn't do that. Okay, I made a pass, I get out, and then I walk around, and okay, the corn's still looking okay, great, and then I kept going. I wouldn't sit there and do a 60-acre field of corn that's as high as the hood and snapping it all off. So there's going to be people, though. I know that there'll be people in the videos, but hey, people like to talk. But I'm just showing you guys the Y job system. We like it a lot. So those are the sticks that are pointing down. They've got like a little cone on them and 2 hoses that are dragging. I do look at them in one of my GoPro videos, but if that intrigues anybody a lot right now, we can stop for a quick minute and look at those. We do have our Raven controller set up, and in that video when I was GoPro and I was just like, the video goes like this. We're running without dual, so the tractor wobbles, a little bit more, so it's not quite as stable, but it's the corn you save. It's totally worth taking. I gotta catch up. You can hear me good on this one. Good. Yeah, the duals are off. Scott, we took the duals off for spraying. The only reason we would put the duals back on is if it got super wet, but I mean, this thing claws through pretty well. We have the 4630 had the duals on, but we just weren't confident that the front would float. That's why we were using the 4-wheel drive with that. You're having more fun than I am at work. Yeah, I really enjoy doing this, cruising up and down corn rows and checking out a good way to scout the crops and get tractor seat time again. And where else do you work? I've never said where. I know people know that are in here. I know people that know me that watch, or people that whatever, vice versa. But I'm full-time. My full-time gig is a sheriff's deputy, so I come out here and help on my days off. 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's a perfect spot to turn around because the corn's short and burned out. But this will boost it. This will boost it. I don't know if it'll save it, but it might bring it back to a somewhat respectable compared to what it is. How is it going? Hello from the north side of Minneapolis. Yeah, not bad. I'm sure you're getting rain maybe. I'll be coming up through there to go camping tomorrow morning after my shift. What does the liquid nitrogen do to the corn? Okay, so that's a good question. I follow 360 Yield Center, and you can see, like, especially right where we're coming through here. Can you guys see, like, right through? I gotta get going straight here. Like right through here. It's a little lower. Water tends to sit, and the ground just stays heavier. That it starves the corn of the nitrogen. Okay, and the corn needs nitrogen to grow. And we had a liquid setup this spring, so we side dressed with the planter. But the problem is when you get a lot of rain, that the rain just it pushes the nitrogen down into the ground, either to the point where the roots, it'll take a long time before they can get to it and the corn kind of stalls out, or it just pushes it to the point where some of it might leave the field, no doubt, but most of it stays in the field. But the corn will have trouble getting to it, and a yellowish tint, light green, whatever you want to call it, that is a sign of nitrogen deficiency. So in this area, if we were to come back, say tomorrow, or even like we're going to speed up a little bit through here just because it looks a little on the wet side. On the wet side, if you come back in 2 days, this will all be dark green. The corn, it'll just eat this up, and they say, I'm not an agronomist or nothing, but when the corn hits that V10 stage on the 360 website, they were just talking about it the other day, I listened. The corn uses 75% of the nitrogen that it'll use in its entire life of the plant from V10 on. So if we didn't do this, and that rain has already pushed all the nitrogen down, the corn's that's it. It's going to grow the best that it can, but if it doesn't have the nitrogen, no. So that's why we're out here doing this. Not a lot of guys that I'm aware of do this. It's catching on in the area. 1 2 3 1. We've been doing it for probably 4 or 5 years, I think, at least 4 or 5 years probably. That's probably what it is, actually. And some guys are still, other guys will dry spread urea with those tall sprayers, and they have a dry box in the back, and they'll spread the pellet urea, which is a form of nitrogen. This is an odd row, so we need to jump over here. Odd row means that's where the edge of the planter was. and we'd end up running more corn down if I just tried to stay in that row. I gotta catch up here. Seems good. The highest neighbor has a knee high right now. Yeah, I mean, it's coming along. We got stuff, you know, you can see it's probably right around that knee high, waist high, but it's, I mean, it is shooting up with the heat and the moisture we've had. It's taken off where if we don't get this done soon, we ain't gonna get it done. Won't there get the green stamp? Yeah, we've been paying attention to that. It's been okay. It's been okay. We've been watching that real closely for if we're damaging any, but we haven't been. So the sprayer's real high. Our lowest point's probably the front axle here, but it's been going all right. This is a little muddy spot. Well, that was beeping at me that I was not putting down 30 gallons an acre because I sped up too fast for what I have my pressure set at. Been a Wilrette spring. Yes, it has. Howdy from Hayfield. Whoops. If I did something to your comment, I apologize. I clicked something. Not at the moment, but lots of past week. Been a Wilrette spring. When I worked on the farm, before we took the duals off and we put 28 down with 3.12 row with discs. Ooh, it is wet through here. Yeah, I mean, it's the way to go. Some of the stuff is tasseling. Yeah, I haven't seen any of that yet, but it ain't gonna take long. That's crazy. Hello from Winnipeg, Manitoba. How's it going? The AC is working great. The AC is working great. It's about 80. It's gonna be about 87 today, so it'll be warm tonight at work. But and everybody will be all partying for the 4th. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But that's okay. It's okay. Be a good night, and I'm going on vacation, so just got to get through tonight at work. Little low spot again. Wait for the beep. Hope you're enjoying the tractor time. I wanted to do some corn this year. The manager said I needed to come into work more. Yeah, that's tricky. Oh boy. This is looking kind of wet right in front of us. Woo! Mud flying. That is the nice thing about the power shift. They pretty much, the other guys in the area are like, yeah, you just grab a gear and go for it. Do you know Hader Farms? Yeah, they're down by like Rochester, southern Minnesota. They got like 50 Peterbilts. They're huge. Thoen Farms? Never heard of them. No. You come back in a couple days and the corn will green up and jump. Oh yeah, the last corn, the other stuff, we stopped Friday. It's now Tuesday. We did not get a load of this. It's such in high demand right now because people all over southern Minnesota are doing this. That our load that was supposed to come Friday got a little stalled out. The truckers were so busy, which was fine because I had to work and everything else. So they ended up showing up Monday, and he went out last evening and did some stuff. And yeah, there's a tree right in the middle of this field, huh? No, we're not going to tear it down. We don't own this field. We do not own this field, so we cannot do that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I stay out an extra one because my boom sticks out a little bit and catching trees. Let me sneak around here, and you do kind of just have to stay a lot wider because otherwise you'll damage your booms when the trees hang out like that. Alright, let's sneak back over here. And we need to be like right here. It'll be pretty good. That's the one downfall of a pull type that doesn't do corners very well. It doesn't follow you in the row, so you just got to do what you got to do and get in the row fast. The self-propelled are maybe a little better, but no doubt you're going to damage corn doing this. There's no way around it. You're going to run corn over, but in the hopes of that this is going to give such a bushel increase that it's worth it, and that's why we do it. Do you know how farms work? Oh yeah, I follow his videos. He puts a lot of time into it. How many gallons per acre? I'm going a little quick because we're coming up on a wet spot. 28.4 right now, but I'm aiming for 30 is what I got it set at. My friend owns Thoen Farms, and they 2,800 acres, mostly run versatile tractors. Wow, that's quite the farm. If it was me, I'd take the landlord about them limbs off the trees. Yeah, we probably should. It's just so hard to get back to it because the field entrance is all the way over there, and it's steep, and you know, we're so busy with harvest and planting that usually we don't get around to it. And it's a remote landlord, so basically they inherited it, I think, is what the story is, and they're not even in the area, so we would have to do it if they gave us permission. So look at how wet it is right here. The ground soft. It's got tile, but as you can tell, it's kind of bowl shaped, so the water holds. And years ago, those guys were hardcore that did the tiling. They dug down through these hills and put clay tile through there, but to have it retiled would be probably you know, in that $500–600 an acre at least for pattern tile. And then you got to factor in that they'd have to do a whole pile of excavating. 1, 2, 3. They would have to do all sorts of excavating to get the tile down to the proper depth to drain it out, because you can see we're climbing a hill, and then all the way over where those trees are in the middle, that's the low spot that we usually can't get through. Oh, little water in the row ahead of us. Right in his sprayer ruts from last time, so that was less than the desired, but that's okay. We made her work. I'm telling you guys, front wheel assist saved the Y dropping season, and I'll say it in a couple of the GoPro ones you'll see. I have them uploaded, I just haven't published them yet, so I apologize. I've been really busy, but they're coming. I have 2 pretty decent videos, I think. Which tractor you're running? It's an 8120, but the videos are up, and when I get time to publish them, I'll publish them. And I'm gonna have to shut this down when I get close to this wet area, because that spring that I need to pay attention to is like right there, and then like right there, and it runs down into that middle. So if I don't pay attention, I'll get stuck, and that's the last thing we need today. So do like 1 or 2 more rounds with me here, and we're already pushing 20 minutes. Maybe I'll hop out and show you guys what Y dropping's all about, and then I'll shut her down. You spraying? Kind of. So we're using our sprayer, but we're Y dropping, and we're putting down nitrogen basically. I'm got the odd row on this side right now. You can see the ones closest to the sprayer are going down the row, but the outside 3 are kind of they're flexing a little bit to stay with the row, which is just a huge advantage of the 360 Y drops, because if you're running like a Coulter machine or a rigid Y drops, you'd run that, it would push that corn down, damage that corn, where these have some flex to them. So we've been pleased with these. I had about 950 gallons on me. I figure this farm will probably take somewhere in the 1,600 gallon per, range, depending if we can get across all of it, or if it's too wet, we might not be able to. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I'm gonna stop here when we get through this low spot and get up on the hill, and I'll climb out and show you guys what they are. They go well as we're driving. I'm looking back and they're running perfectly, but most of the time when I stop, the sprayer kind of, if it sways to one side, the hoses look like they're not on the plant. But I'll show you how they work if they're not in the right. If as I stop, they go into a goofy position, I'll put them back the way they are right now, dragging through the rows. But yeah, we're putting down 30 gallons an acre. And that's the sprayer control, boom controls right there. All right, let's get to the top of the hill here. Let's see. No duals. See, I could run these a little lower, but when the corn gets tall, or if the ground's uneven and these hit the ground, you know, they're designed to flex a little bit, but you don't want to hit them into the ground. So the outside ones are usually the ones I watch, so you can see what's going on. See, the hoses are dragging right next to the corn, and you know, it leaves a nice trail of 32, and it's right in the plant, right where the plant needs it, and the corn should just take right off. So, but yeah, here's the rig from the outside. You don't get to see it much because I'm in the cab. So, yeah. Did I miss any questions over there? I gotta shut this off and get back down in that wet hole and try not to get stuck. I'd go in light, yeah, for sure. See, it works its way down into a bowl, and I came in with 900 gallons, and what'll happen is I'll be down to like 300 gallons as I get down in there, and that's almost nothing because that's a 1,500 gallon tank. And then when we come back with the second load, we'll start at the far trees, and we'll work our way down the hill again, so we're light down in this area. And then, you know, in a perfect world, we won't get stuck. If it's obviously too wet, I just leave it. We're not, if you're gonna do more damage and or get the tractor stuck, you might as well not even be in the field, right? So, interesting that it drags on the ground. Yeah, that's all it is. You know, that way you don't damage the corn stalk. Instead of like a coulter or a knife machine, you might rip up some corn. This doesn't do that. That's a pretty cool setup. Yeah, sweet. Thanks guys. So, all right. I need to get to it so we can finish this off. And well, heck, you guys can ride one more round. And then I'm gonna shut off as I get close though. So if it ends inadvertently, it means that I got down into the mud. All right. It might beep as I get up to speed here. Nope. A little wet spot. Oh yeah, it's getting softer. It's getting softer. Why? Oh shoot! Did I do something to him? Message retracted. Kian, I don't know what happened. Or maybe you deleted it or something. I'm sorry. It should be good to go. Hopefully, been there stuck with a sprayer. Yeah, I actually the first day we did this got stuck, and I'll admit it. 1, 2, 3. I tried to avoid the wet headlands, and it turns out that the side hill, for some God knows reason, was worse than the headlands. We actually pulled me out down into the the wet headlands where we're more firm. So who would have guessed that? But it was an easy. I didn't fight it. I didn't dig myself in. It was an easy pull out. We didn't make a mess. Oh boy, this might make a mess though. Woo! Yeehaw! That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm gonna have to shut this off and pay attention more. Not that that was bad, but it's gonna get messy here. So right on, Kian. All right, yeah, this next pass after I turn around, that's gonna be it. So when I make it to the end, that's it, because this is where it's gonna get sketchy. And a lot of times, what I end up doing is just working it as two separate fields. and just not get even close to the middle here. But you can see the water sitting. There's water coming out of that spring right there. So yeah, I don't even think I'll make it back, coming back this way. Now I'll just have to work the field over there and then on the other side too, because that's too wet. So made it through that. All right. I got stuck the first couple of years back, full load, wasn't pretty. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. You know, we got rained out so long that we didn't have a choice but to get out in the field because the corn, that first corn was so tall, we did not have a choice. So, all right, I appreciate everybody checking in. I hope you enjoyed it. Be safe this holiday weekend. Take it easy, and we will check back later.